welcome to day 8 of Vlogmas. We were gonna do a Q&A today because we did not record a lot today because of me still being sick and Jacob still being sick, and I know I sound horrible right now. Just ignore. Anyways, we're gonna do a Q&A and we're gonna answer questions that we got on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, stay tuned. Here we go. Alright, so for the first question we got asked, Jacob's gonna read the first one and he will answer the first one, then I will give my response.
Response? These are questions for both of us. Alright, so question number 1. What do you think are the 3 most important factors for a successful relationship? You can go first.
Okay. Communication.
Okay.
Honesty.
Okay.
To always make sure the other is okay.
Yeah.
Just always ask them if they're okay. Talk to them about their day. Make sure that their day was fine, good.
And for me, 3 most important things for a successful relationship, definitely communication. Honesty was another really great one. And then I would say 110% trust. But that one takes time. You got to build that one. And it really comes with those first 2. You got to have communication and you got to have honesty for anyone to ever have trust in a relationship. So yeah, for me, those are my 3. And I liked your 3 as well. So I think we'll move on to question number 2. How long have y'all been together for, and do you plan on having any more kids?
You can answer first.
Okay. So we've been together going on 5 months now, and to give a little bit more in that, we've been dating going on 5 months, but we've been like talking and hanging out for probably close to like 7. It was like a month and a half before. So
but we've known each other for almost a year
and a half.
Longer than that, I'd say.
It's about a year and a half.
A year and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've known each other about a year and a half. We talked for about a month and a half before we started dating, and then now we've been dating going on 5 months now. So hope that answers that question. And also part 2 of that is, and do you plan on having any more kids?
You're answering this.
So I don't have any kids at the moment, but I 110% want to have kids with Miss Banana. So it's really just, and to answer that question, how many? We'll see. I could possibly go for 2 more, but we'll, 1 might be fine.
Just 1.
But yes, definitely plan on having more kids.
What's a non-negotiable for you in a relationship?
Okay.
I would say probably Jacob has females that he's known before me, but I would definitely not put up with him getting a new female friend, and like hanging out with her and shit. Hell no.
That's a definite no as well. I fully agree with that. There ain't no buddies that you're just gonna meet now and then be hanging out with like dude-wise. So no, I totally agree. But a non-negotiable for me, I mean, it goes into that one, but really just like being flirty or flirting with like other males or anything like that, or just being too buddy. Yeah, we ain't doing that. We don't do that around here. So yeah, that's
I don't do that anyways.
Okay, well I'm just saying that's a non-negotiable for me. Okay, hopefully that answered that question for y'all. How do you think your parents influenced your view on relationships today?
You answer that first.
Okay. For me, well, I will say I'm blessed to have been in a family situation to where my parents are still together. I know there's tons of people out here who don't, I guess, necessarily get that, but growing up, seeing my parents who've now been married for 25 to 27 years, somewhere in that range, I don't know, it gives me faith in long-lasting love and things like that. And again, to see them every day. I mean, every relationship comes with problems or this, that, and the other, but just seeing them last this long and being this happy and this successful and stuff like that, I don't know, it gives me hope, and I'm excited to share that with you. Mm-hmm. Oh, and another thing to add on to mine was, again, just seeing my parents even diving into like business and stuff together. I mean, they worked their butts off doing their separate jobs for a long time, but then they put everything that they had together into one thing, and now they have had a business for, I think, 24 years now, something like that. And
which is awesome, because most business was like can ruin families.
Yeah.
For them to actually stay together and stay that strong is really good.
And again, being a restaurant and stuff, I mean, it's a lot of hard work, but it's something that they're able to do together and stay strong. And I don't know, I respect it a lot. But yeah, now you can answer yours.
Probably for me is never giving up on each other, no matter how hard it went in the relationship. And before they got saved, they constantly drank, partied, done drugs, and they never let that tear them apart until they found God, and then they both changed to better themselves, and instead of letting the devil ruin their relationship. So definitely just staying together and fighting when things get hard.
Fighting for each other, and then again, putting God as the forehead of your relationship is extremely important. I mean, as you just said, that's something that completely turned everything around. And yeah. So yeah, hopefully that answered that question. Okay. This one's for you. It's question number 5.
Okay. Was it hard to introduce him to your baby girl? Honestly, it wasn't hard, because I trusted Jacob and I knew he was a good person, but it was kind of hard for me to open up to someone, to allow her to be in someone else's life, because like everything me and her has went through from when she was a baby, some people know that story, some people don't, but it was just hard for me to let someone come back into her life, because it's honestly scary, because you don't want her to get attached to somebody and then they walk out. So, but because of me knowing who Jacob was and how good of a person he was, and because I truly loved him and I know he isn't going to leave me, it wasn't hard for me to introduce her to him. And she loved him right when she met him. So.
That's sweet. But yeah, that one was for her, so I guess I don't have an answer for that. Do we plan on getting married? Yes. Yes, we do plan on getting married. Do y'all have a timestamp on marriage? So I guess that question is like, is there a certain amount of time in our minds that we gotta hit before we essentially get married?
No.
I'd say no. I mean, you definitely want to have a good amount of time with somebody before you go in and make like a life commitment. But I even think in me and Hannah's case, it's pretty different. I mean, we've already been together every single day and almost every single night for so long. So it's like, I don't know, I know how to deal with her. She knows how to deal with me. We know what each other's like when they're upset or sick or anything. I mean, really. So
we definitely understand each other for sure.
Yeah, and stuff.
Things that take a lot of time for people to understand each other, and like that's what ruins people when they rush into marriage. But me and Jacob, like, we're just different, because we definitely picked up fast on how to read each other and understand each other. So. And
I really think that purely came from us just being around each other so much, but.
Well, that, and also our mindsets were the same.
Yeah.
Most people that don't work out, one's mindset is not on the same page as the other, and that's why most marriages and relationships don't work, because they don't see eye to eye on things.
No, exactly. And again, I mean, you gotta want it. You gotta fight for it. So I mean, there's always gonna be arguments. There's always gonna be this or that, but it's just like, once you find someone who's worth it, you fight for it. And again, I've 110% found someone who's worth it. So, always going to fight for it.
And I feel the same way.
But yeah, and also just to wrap that up, no, I would definitely not say there's a timestamp, like, in my mind on when to get married. I just definitely, in my mind, I want us to have spent a lot of time together. But again, what is a lot? We already have spent so much time together and this, that, and the other. So, yeah, I'd say no. What do you say? Okay. Have y'all ever cheated or been cheated on?
I've never cheated. Cheated on, for sure.
Yeah. I've never been cheated on, and in any of my serious relationships, once you're like out of middle school, no, I've never cheated.
You cheated in middle school?
Yeah, middle school. Your girlfriend ain't even.
Once a cheater is always a cheater.
Be quiet. I said in any serious relationship, never. Middle school is like, oh, I like you. You're my girlfriend. Yeah. So no and no for me, and no and that's for you. Do y'all eventually plan on moving in together? If so, when?
Yes.
yes, we do plan on moving in together. Actually, been kind of talking about it a lot lately, just in terms of everything, where we're at in life and where we are in our relationship and all that stuff. We definitely do plan on moving in together, hopefully soon.
Yes.
Hopefully within the next, even a few months. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Who said I love you first?
Jacob.
I did. I said I love you first. You can give him some backstory on that if you want.
So one day we were wrestling on the floor, and I could tell that he wanted to tell me because he always used to be like, I want to tell you something, but it's just not the right time. And I'm like, okay. So I knew what he wanted to tell me. And one day we were wrestling on the floor, and like he was on top of me, and we just stared at each other and got caught in each other's eyes, and he was like, I was like, I was kind of just brushing it off. I was like, oh my God. He basically just told me without telling me. And he also said it in Spanish, and he didn't think I knew what it meant in Spanish. I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't. Until I saw Emily that afternoon, and I was like, how do you say I love you in Spanish? And she told me, and I was like, this man told me he loved me earlier. And I think it was probably that same night.
It was probably the same day, yeah.
Yeah. He told me. And when he did this, he went to the bathroom. And there's a $10 bill that I taped up to his mirror one time. I think we weren't dating. We weren't even dating.
Mm-mm.
We were just talking. And I taped it up there. And we have this thing when we get to each red light, we kiss at every red light. So I drew a red light on the $10 bill and I stuck it up there. And I told him that I'm going to keep like writing little stuff on there that we do. And when he went to the bathroom after he did this, I literally drew this on the $10 bill and folded it and taped it.
She did.
And then when he told me he loved me that night, I told him to go look over the $10 bill, and he seen that.
She did. It was definitely cute. It was crazy because, again, us hanging out as much as we did, even before we dated, we were hanging out like every day. Once it had gotten to that point. We were hanging out like every single day. And it was crazy because I knew I loved her before I could even like make it official. And yeah, that's just it's so weird. It never worked out that way for me before. I imagine probably not you either. But in this case, it did. I told her I loved her before I even asked her to be my girlfriend. So yeah, some people may think that's weird. I think that's weird. But what we got is just different.
For sure.
Extremely, extremely different, and it was something that I knew at a very early stage. And so, as I said earlier in the video, no matter what happens, no matter anything, I'm fighting for this with everything I got because I know this is the one right here. But yeah, guys, so I guess that's basically it for our Q&A. We'll definitely do more in the future, but this was just some of the first few basic questions that you guys wanted to know about us. So I hope, if anything, you gained some insight on us individually and us in our relationship. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for tomorrow, and you'll get an actual vlog. So, you want to tell them bye?
Bye.
Alrighty, y'all. Y'all have a good night, and peace.